And this is why you should never be afraid to dream. Don't be afraid to dream. It's Lenny Wennerstrom, and I am here to help you find your purpose on this channel. And one of the tools I use is Dr. Shad Helmstetter's book, 365 Days of Positive Self-Talk for Finding Your Purpose. Today is December 12th. So we now are on day 346, 19 days left in the year, and we are, 19 days, and we are 90, it's day 347. See, I started, so I have it written twice, like I had to circle it because we've done this before. So I had the days and everything before. Anyway, not to confuse myself, but day 347, 19 days left in the year. We are 94.81% complete with 2024 as we move through the years. And by the way, if you are in the future and you find this on a date, it is timeless. It is absolutely timeless because these are messages to the brain to help the brain to the self-talk language that Dr. Shad Helmstetter created. And then in addition to that, it's all my teachings, which are spiritual in nature, along with the neuroplasticity of the 3D world. And so it is timeless. It is timeless until we learn that neuroplasticity is not real or not a thing. And who knows with science, but I'm telling you at this point, all kinds of proof says, yes, neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to totally rewire itself until the day you take your very last breath. So speaking of not being afraid to dream, and I know I kind of should it all over you, right? You should. You should dream. But here it is. This is the passage for today. I may be practical and realistic, but I am never afraid to dream. My dreams show me many things that I want to create in my life, and they guide me toward my future. We're going to turn that around to have your higher self speaking to you, or you speaking to you, or someone of influence speaking to you, or me speaking to you. And this is what we would say to you. You may be practical and realistic, but you are never afraid to dream. Your dreams show you many things that you want to create in your life, and they guide you toward your future. So if that doesn't feel empowering and positive and exciting, and it's interesting how we, as children, we dream. And then a lot of times it's called daydreaming, when we're actually visualizing and we see things. And then it's like, stop daydreaming. Stop, pay attention, to the things you're going to learn by rote. We're going to pound this into your brain. So with your neuroplasticity, we're going to have you put this in your brain over and over, repeat until you get this. And then we get programmed. So the dreams, we become adults, and we stop dreaming and start being adults and living and moving on planet Earth as if there's really, that's all there is finding a job, and taking care of our families, taking care of ourselves. A lot of things just come right down to this third dimensional way of living on planet Earth, rather than the 99.999999%, which is energy, the wave, and the 0.099999% that is the particle or material. And it just seems so much like we can touch these things. Like I can't touch the mountains because they're way over there, but I could if I wanted to climb them, and they are part of the material world and the particle. Yet look at all this space that is around, space inside of your body, space between cells, space between like the cell membrane and other things, space between organs, lots of space within, space without, and just space everywhere. Move away from planet Earth, zoom out. What do you find? Space, and lots of space. And that is the wave. That is the field. This is where you create from. This is what we are. This is consciousness. And what is so beautiful about that is that we can bring, and I've taught you already how to do active goal setting, but we can bring from the invisible to the visible through goal setting. And I always say that goal setting is a spiritual practice. And the reason I say that is because truly you have a thought, a concept. Your thoughts are energy. They create a frequency, whether they're high frequency or low frequency. If your self-talk is saying you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you'll never have enough, you don't have enough resources, enough money, you're never going to finish something, you're not strong enough, you're whatever, brave enough, courageous enough, you have a low self-esteem, you're shy, you forget names, these are all programs. What I just heard one today from someone said, I'm not organized. That's what she said. She's like, I'm not the most organized person. I said, oh, yes, you are. You definitely are. And she said, oh, okay, I'm getting better. And I was like, you are better. But, it's these are programs. And it's very obvious when you start understanding neuroplasticity and the programs. So, and you can see it in others, and it's not like you just want to say, hey, that's a program. I mean, you might want to say it, but it's probably best not to. But you can introduce them to this channel. You can introduce them to me. You can introduce them to Dr. Shad Helmstead. You can introduce them to Dr. Joe Dispenza. You can introduce them to looking up neuroplasticity, and introduce them just to a new world where they're actually empowered to become absolutely anything they want and do and have, and all the stuff that we always say, because we were born with unlimited promise and potential. And then every single one of us, including you, got programmed. And you now know that you can change that programming so that the dreams that were programmed out of us to stop dreaming, stop daydreaming, stop visualizing and seeing things and seeing little people when you're young, and angels and ghosts and all the things that we see when we're young. It's those things are still very valid, and you can go back to your dreams to see what are the downloads. When you are dreaming, you are in space. You are not in your body. You are not confined by the mind. You are off onto an amazing adventure, and you are bringing back with you, especially when you remember. And it has to be like, at least for me and for most people that I know, as soon as you wake up, it's got to be like, because we forget. Like, we come into our conscious minds, it's like, where'd that go? It was such a good dream. I had this great idea, and now it's gone. But truly, even things like shining my light to brighten yours, that was downloaded to me many, many years ago. And I just love, at first I was like, what does that even mean? And I was doing health coaching. I was like, shining my light to brighten yours. And I was like, well, I love it though, because it's very spiritual. And I was like, yes, that sounds really beautiful. It took me a while, and I just started putting it everywhere, saying it, and and now I when I say it, it's like here's some of my light, and I'm taking from yours, and we have these biophotons in our fields, and so we're constantly, exchanging or growing the field, having, hopefully we have them inside of us rather than out here, the light, because we want to have that light and to feel that light. So, but when we get angry or something, the biophotons literally out inside, we can see, you can actually measure your aura, and the biophotons, I should say aura, but the biophotons, you can actually see the light that is outside of your body. And with tuning forks, Eileen McCusick, I believe her last name, and I took her courses, and you can, with your tuning forks, literally attract them and bring them back in and go whoop, right back into the body. So very real energy, not something you can see with the naked eye. You can feel it though. When you walk into somebody's energy field, you can feel it. You know whether it's a positive or a negative, or it's like, run, or don't think I want to be here right now. And so it's, or wow, that feels so good, I'm going to hang around here. It feels light and airy and upbeat and joyful and encouraging. Excuse me. So this is about, being practical and realistic, but never afraid to dream, because your dreams show you many things that you want to create in your life, and they guide you towards your future. And I am really working on my, my brother just called. Let me see if this oh, wow, it keeps going. Must be something. But I have had to, I'll call him right back. That's Tony. I think you've met him in Amarillo when we were in Amarillo with Steve. But today has been a day that I've had to really rely on my spirit animal with the turtle and helping me to be strong and overcoming obstacles with Steve. Now it's been a little over a month since he has passed on to the other side, and today has been a little bit difficult. And I had my feathers on, and I couldn't find them because the feathers are messages in the Indian or Native American. I grew up saying Indian because we have Indian, and that's to me it's neither here nor there. So I say Indian, and so this is not this, but the feathers that I normally wear. They're messages from earth to heaven, and they take our prayers up to the great spirit in the sky, to the universe. And so I feel like that's really beautiful. So I've been wearing them a lot, and really holding my spirit animal close to my heart. It's been helping me to move through and to really start to see, like, who am I? I have this wonderful opportunity to take the opportunity to say, who am I? And I mean, I know who I am. It's like, what do I want? I know that on planet Earth, I'm a culmination, excuse me, of my mental programs. We know that from neuroplasticity and neuroscientists, and we know that 77% of those or more of those programs in our conscious mind are harmful, counterproductive, and stop us, hold us back, and they're not helpful, and they can even be harmful. And over 90 to 95% in our subconscious mind are the same. That same negativity that holds us back and stops us, and we self-sabotage, and we don't know why, or we know because we don't want to do it, but we don't know why we don't want to do it, or why we don't want to move forward, or something like that. And you can change those programs, and that's what I love about the on planet Earth. I know that I'm a culmination of those programs. Now I know I'm a light being, I'm energy. I know that I am an individual expression of the one, of universe, and it's just a matter of degree, as are you. And when we recognize that, we recognize the actual power that we have and that we hold within. And this is why when we look for our purpose, when we go inside, instead of, ahoy, where's my purpose? Somebody bring it to me on a silver platter. It's not about that. It's about, like, what is aligned with your values and who you are, and what feels good to you, what feels right, and what feels, usually it's easy. And I mention this because a lot of times, and this happened to me, and it has happened to, when I asked other people, the same thing. It's like, well, anyone can do that, whatever it is. Like, I could go into a room and talk to absolutely anyone. I have no qualms about it. I can get on and do a video. I can stand up and speak in front of however many people. It's so easy for me. It's a program. It's a gift. It's a talent. And I always thought, wow, what am I ever going to do with that? Wow, people would tell me, you have a great personality. And I was like, yeah, and how am I going to, like, what am I going to do with a personality? Anything you want. But I didn't know. It was like, well, let's see. I can be a flight attendant, which were called airline stewardesses back when. And I even went, but I wasn't chosen. And I mean, I did all kinds of stuff. And I did really good having my own morning radio show. That was an award-winning morning show with a co-host, and for a large market, which was very, very cool. I loved that. And obviously, that's a personality, right? It's a morning personality, or the morning show, a radio personality. So I did really well with that. And so, but it was like, well, what do I do with the personality? But it's easy for me, even in commercial real estate leasing, even as in law enforcement. When I was in law enforcement, same thing. It was easy for me to deal with people and really neutralize things. just all kinds of things. So it's a gift, and you have a gift or many gifts as well, that to you, people just say, oh, you can do, it's so easy for you. And how do you do that? Well, it's so easy for you. There's something that you do, or some things that you do that are just easy for you. And it's usually is aligned, I would say always, has to do with somewhere in your purpose. It's a gift, a talent that you have, and then you can hone that talent. Like I can hone mine working in radio and doing what I'm doing here and having my podcast and all the things that I do is it's honing and honing and honing and speaking and the things that I do. It's honing. It becomes a skill, but on top of a gift of a talent. So it's this is where I say, get some skills that support your talents, things that come naturally and easily to you. Doesn't mean that it's always easy to get those skills, to acquire them, yet it can help you to do more with your purpose, to serve more peeparoos in your life. And so that's it's so beautiful. And dreaming is a very big part of that. It's like, well, where do you want to be? What do you want to do? Look at the hairs on here. I wore this shirt yesterday and again today just because it's warm and cute, and just because today has been a little rough. So so I'm looking at it thinking, oh, there's hairs. I probably should have changed my shirt. But anyway, I did change it, but then I changed it back. I know you wanted to know about that. Anyway, the point is this dreaming, like, where do you want to go in life? What do you want to be when you look back? And I've said this before, but when you look back, even look back in decades, like say you're 40 years old, 50 years old, it's like what, or wherever you're at, and so you're 40 and you go 80, right? Or 90, but what do you want to have accomplished in your 80s, in your 70s, in your 60s, in your 50s? Like, what is it that you go backwards, reverse engineer and see, like, what do I want to have accomplished? What sounds great to me? Doesn't mean that that's not going to change as you grow and expand and learn things. Yeah, it's just something so beautiful to have in your mind's eye and to be moving towards things. And more than likely, it's going to be tied in with your purpose, because it's things that will come easily for you. Like, I really want to work with elderly peeparoos and help them to, to not be lonely. Or I want to work with people with, that have some dis-ease, and help them to have hope. Or I want to have a cooking show where I teach people how to eat healthy, and it's so easy. And so you just move into the things that are fun and interesting to you, and you continue to learn, so you continue to become more and more interesting. People like to listen to you because you're more interesting, and especially when you share your life. And that's one of the reasons. It's not one of the reasons I share my life. I share my life because that's just who I am, and it's part of it's so easy for me. I want you to, if there's something that you can learn from me, from my journey, I want you to grab onto that, and if it can help you, especially, I teach practical spirituality, and that is the spiritual journey on one hand. On the other hand, it's the human experience. And that human experience, we just feel, what I always say is, like, we can touch ourselves. I can touch this ring. I can touch my earrings. I can touch my head. I can touch my hair. I can put it in a ponytail. But then, like I was saying before, zoom out from planet Earth to where you see planet Earth is like this big, or maybe it's even a teeny speck, and zoom out and zoom out and zoom out, and bless planet Earth and all its inhabitants. And you zoom out, and what do you see? Stars, planets, but what do you mostly see? Space. It is all mostly space, energy, frequency. That's what everything is. And this is why your dreams are so importante, because they help you to visualize and to pull from that space to that divine space, or science, call it quantum, whatever you want to call it. It is divine, it is light, it is beautiful, even if it's dark. It's frequency, it's energy, and it's beautiful, and you can move it. You can move energy to create the world, the life that you want to create. And when you get it, when you actually get it, it is so empowering. And I'm not going to say it's easy. It's a concept that is a little bit difficult to get. But if you're more on the science side, study quantum physics, study the field, just study anything quantum mechanics. Just study that. And then if you are more spiritual or both, then study what spirituality and where things come from, and study, really understand things like I'm trying to think of all the different books, but the Master Key System is the one that really got me for years and years and years. It was like this, I think he's from the 1920s. But Charles, wow, very unlike me to not remember name. Charles, anyway, the Master Key System. And so that book, and there's so many others. I'm trying to think of her name, Jude. She's a scientist as well as very spiritual. And she has like the 8th chakra and other books like that. I have all her books, but I just saw her on one thing, and then I loved her. I loved her because it's a lot of science, but a lot of spirituality, a lot of spiritual. And so I have her books, all of them, and I've read most of them. So, or leaf through them. And then, of course, on neuroscience, so neuroplasticity, the power of neuroplasticity, Dr. Shad Helmstetter, Joe Dispenza, and anyone from Bruce Lipton or Greg Braden, or is it Jude Corriveau? So I'm still thinking, very unlike me to not remember names. So anyway, these are some of the books some of the authors that I absolutely adore and cut my teeth. I guess I really cut my teeth on the Master Key System. That was, that book, for years and years I read that book, and it took me a really long time. It was what helped me to move from the Catholic guilt, low frequency, by the way, and a program. And so anyway, that's the story on that. And so dreaming is powerful. Dreaming is very powerful. And so I hope that you will, that even if you are practical and realistic, that you will dream, and you will dream big, and you will, the dreams that, and here your dreams show you many things that you want to create in your life, and they guide you towards your future. So allow those dreams to come in. Yesterday we talked about living with purpose is the opposite of putting in time. I hope you go watch that video. It's pretty good. And I'm going to ask you to please do me a favor. I would really, really appreciate if you would share this video. I would love for you to like. I'd love for you to subscribe. I would love for you to share this video. And if you want to comment, that would be fantabulous. I just really want to reach more peeparoos. It's time. It's time to expand, and I'll be doing many other things, and of course I'll keep you apprised. I'd love for you to get on my email list, because that's how I'm going to let people know what I'm doing more than anything. And you can go to lennymotivates.com for that, to get on my email list, and it's way at the very bottom. I'm moving that to the top. So anyway, the email list is a good way to stay in touch. And also, always in the description, if you want to work with me, it has all my information there, all the programs that I offer. And you can just email me with Lenny at lennymotivates.com. And we can start working together. It'd be an honor and a pleasure to serve you. And I have group coaching as well. And so that is always, group coaching is so powerful when you are working with others, and then you find other like-minded peeparoos that want to be accountability partners and want to like grow and expand together. So it's definitely a really good thing to consider, especially as we move into a new year. It just would feel so good to have your goals set and move yourself forward, because you do have 19 days before the first. So anyway, I love you so very, very mucho. I believe in you. You can do this. You can do, be, change, create, have whatever. You can become whatever it is you want to. Create your goals, set your goals from the spiritual, as a spiritual practice, from the invisible, bring into the material world what it is you want to create. That's what goals do, because all of a sudden you're writing them down, which gives you like a 85% chance more of actually, just because from brain to paper, just by writing it down, it already it moves the energy towards that. Now, if you start looking at it every single day, and you look at the obstacles that might be in the way, and you date it, and then you look at the obstacles or anything that might stop you or hold you back, or what's needed and wanted, or something around there, and then you write your action steps for that. Hey, yo, Charlie. Charlie's out. Come on, you, Charlie. Then you have, like, you can 100% succeed at achieving your goals. And my goal is always to help you to find success in every single area of your life and to excel in times of change. You can. I have shown you. I talk that, but I walk that walk. And I've shown you through my journey with my husband, and as he flowed through his last days on planet Earth, and not really knowing all the unknowns, right? But saying yes to the unknowns and still saying yes. And even if I am depending on a spirit animal a lot today, and feathers, which wasn't able to find, sending messages to heaven from planet Earth. It's all so beautiful when you understand your power. And it is an honor and a privilege to come onto planet Earth. If you think about all the spirits, all the souls that would love to have an opportunity to come to planet Earth, and you think about that, and they're not here, so they don't get to experience what you and I do, and I think because it seems so hard, and difficult, and there's these low frequency things like shame and guilt and grief, and they're all blessings to experience, because then you know what you don't want and you move to what you do want, and you move through those. You understand your power, and you move through that, and you think about, you are here and you are so unique, and this is something that with Steve, his presence is just so missed. All the little things. So Steve, my hubby, all the little things that he did, and big things as well, but the little things, the little pats that he would give me as I was passing, the like, babe, when are you coming home? Or, babe, do you think you could go to the store and do this for me? Or, whatever it was. Or, you want to go with me to the get the mail in the post office, or any of those things. It's just, all the little things. Where I'm going with this is, if you listen to self-esteem, on also in the description, I always put 30 days free of the self-talk language. It's an app, and you get 30 days free. And after that, it's $19.99, and you get six family or peeparoos on there, 6 people on that account. What a great gift to rewire your brain through neuroplasticity with the programs that you want of self-esteem. And there are many, but the foundation is self-esteem. So you think about that, having the foundation is self-esteem, and you have a healthy self-esteem. And also in that self-esteem, you're listening to it and saying you are so unique from the top of your head to the top of your toes on your feet. Or the thing is that you are very unique. There will never be another you. And where I'm going with this is Steve. It's like there will never be, and I said this to myself, it's like, my baby, there will never be another Steve Wennerstrom. Not you. There might be a Steve Wennerstrom with a name, but not Steve. Not his essence, not his spirit, not who he was on planet Earth. There will never be that. And so I want you to think about that for you. There will never, ever be another you. Never, ever. You are so unique. You are marked by the stamp of spirit, and there will never be another you. And so it is such an honor and a privilege to be here and to know how unique we are. And I think about the 8 years, and I know that it was, everything is a message to me for positive change. I know that I needed to go, that was I chose that path. And I know coming out of those 8 years where I did try to commit suicide many times during those 8 years, and all the pain and suffering, the physical pain, the mental pain, emotional pain, like all of it all had value, all of it. And I was thinking about, man, you tried to take your life, and there would be, look how many peeparoos you would have affected. I mean, all my siblings, my parents, well, not my dad was, well, yeah, my dad was still during some of that time. So my parents, my Steve, Lynette, our daughter, and then all the friends I had made over the years, and when I was in radio, like all the peeparoos I had met there, and in law enforcement, all the peeparoos there, and commercial real estate, like it would have a ripple effect. It would have mattered. I thought I was like all alone, and I was not worthy to breathe, and and these are programs. These are the harmful programs. Where did I get those? I mean, I have mentioned where I definitely know where I got one, parts of them, but from the people who would like to control the population, and there was one that said, some people just are not even fit to breathe. They take breath from others. And somehow that stuck with me. And I had that. I was like, wow, that's me. Like, I'm so small, so nothing. I shouldn't even be taking breath from other peeparoos. So when you find, if you are depressed or you're feeling low or any of the things like that, just remember, or if you know someone, the self-talk, that self-talk, listening to self-esteem, listening to defeating problems, listening to stress, worry, and depression, like some of those programs, incredibly powerful. Now, I don't know if I could have listened to that and had it going, but had Steve put it on outside the door and he knew it wasn't, I don't think it was even a program then, but I don't think it was created. I guess maybe it was some of it. But anyway, the way it is, had I been listening, had it been like really low, it would have rewired my brain. If I, just even if I didn't have any intention or any of that, it would have helped me immensely, because that's how the brain works. It is the language for the brain. It's like when you're born, whatever language you were born with, probably English if you're listening to this, but whatever language, you did not go to crib school. You did not sit in your crib and say, here's how you conjugate this verb, and here's how, and this is how you say this, and here's the customs, and this is all this stuff. No, you learned by just passive listening and watching and observing and the repetition over and over. You knew who mommy was. You knew who daddy was. You started to know the aunts and the uncles, and you got the nuance of how to speak and the culture and the things, the religion, the politics, whatever was on TV, and whatever it was, repeat. And what the teachers were, repeat. That's what got wired into your brain. And all of this is by well-meaning peeparoos themselves who were programmed. They programmed you. And then not so well-meaning in advertising and media, they know exactly how it works. And this is why you get like the drug companies and the others that are just like, you hear it and hear it and hear it on these drugs and see these wonderful pictures and, you know, and people having fun. And then you see all the long list of these side effects like death and kidney failure and da-da-da-da-da. But here they are like, yeah, we playing ball or doing whatever. I haven't watched one in a long time, but it's just so, it's so counter to, you know, all the side effects. And anyway, they know. And now you know. So you get to choose your programs. And they also know that they can program into you and out of you your dreams. So for you to dream, because they can program fear. The news is notorious for that. How many times the same news, repeat, 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 repeat. And people leave it on in the background, and guess what they're getting? Fear, 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 fear. Just like if you left the app, the self-talk, the positive self-talk language that Dr. Shad Helmstetter created, if you left that on the background, then you're getting the programs you want, because you're the one that's choosing the program of a healthy self-esteem, of, you know, having financial success, of being courageous, of defeating problems, of losing weight, stopping smoking, doing the things that don't work for you, having, you know, creating winning relationships in your life, and all the things, health and fitness, all the things that are really important. You get to program, you get to choose those programs rather than the news. If you listen to that all the time, then you're not choosing. Well, you are. Now you know you are, but you may not know how neuroplasticity works. It's not subliminal messaging that gets, unless that subliminal messaging is on repeat, 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 your brain just records everything, and then the ones that are repeated, or there's intention, or there's intense emotion around it, or there's whatever it is, that's what gets wired in and becomes a program. So this is how it works. So you're dreaming, your dreams are just so powerful. Start to dream again. Start to look for your purpose. Really set your sights on that overall mission of why you came to planet Earth, or why you find yourself here. Why are you here? What are you to do? Who are you to serve? And start moving towards that, and what feels right, what aligns with who you are. And start listening to self-talk. And I'd love for you to hire me and start working with me, because I can help you change those mental programs. I can help you set the right goals. It takes just as long to get to the wrong goal as the right goal, and probably longer, because then you're just like, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know. The right goal, you know exactly where you want to go, and you know, and you have a very good idea of how, and I will help you if you don't know. So that's the story. I love you so very, very much. I know I already said you can do, be, change, have, create, become absolutely anything, and you can. And we will see you tomorrow. What do I have for you tomorrow? This is what I was going to tell you. This is believing in your dream. Oh, wait, is that tomorrow? Yeah, it is. No, it's not. We can't do believing in a dream yet. Well, we could, but I think we won't. So, but do believe in your dream. It's very appropriate for what I just read. Anyway, this is what I said yesterday. It's taking pride in your choices, because I missed a day. So I didn't miss a day. I mean, I skipped over the 12th and went to the 13th. Yesterday, I was thinking that I had read the 13th. So, I mean, the 12th. But today is the 12th. So that's the story. And I love you so, so very much. And we will see you tomorrow. Ciao.